wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
The Meditations of
Welcome
Marcus
to the Sunday Stoic
Aurelius,
Podcast.
Book
This is
5,
Steve
Number
coming to you
9.
from Conway, Arkansas. This is a podcast where we explore the modern-day application of the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. And I want to say thank you to Leanna for supporting the podcast by throwing a couple dollars this way on PayPal. That will go to help keep the show going, or I might buy a beer. We'll see. But if you want to do the same, sundaystoic@gmail.com. So, this week we're going to hear from Marcus Aurelius. We're on Book 5 of the Meditations. We picked Book 5 sort of almost at random. I went through several of the books and decided to go through at least parts of Book 5 in detail. And we have been slowly working our way through. So on the date of this airing, I will be visiting my grandmother in Ohio for her 100th birthday. So before I continue on, I just want to say, Grandma, happy birthday. 100 years old today. That's amazing. If you want to hear more about Grandma, you can check out the previous episode of the Sunday Stoic podcast. Anyway, this week Marcus gives us a ray of hope. He's often put on a pedestal as an example of a Stoic philosopher, as a good emperor, as one who could lead without letting absolute power corrupt absolutely, as one who could make just decisions and exhibited temperance and all the other virtues. But here he admits that failure is something that he experiences. And he gives himself advice as to what to do when he does fail. Don't be disgusted. Don't give up. Don't be impatient if you do not carry out entirely conduct based in every detail upon right principles. But after a fall, return again. And rejoice if most of your actions are worthier of human character. Love that to which you go back. And don't return to philosophy as to a schoolmaster, but as a man with sore eyes to the sponge and the salve, as another to a poultice, another to a fomentation. For so you will show that to obey reason is no great matter, but rather you will find rest in it. Remember, too, that philosophy wills nothing else than the will of your own nature, whereas you were willing some other thing not in accord with nature. For what is sweeter than this accord? Does not pleasure overcome us just by sweetness? Well, see whether magnanimity, freedom, simplicity, consideration for others, holiness are not sweeter. For what is sweeter than wisdom itself, when you bear in mind the unbroken current in all things of the faculty of understanding and knowledge? So this week's translation is by Farquharson from the 1940s. Somewhat more readable translation, at least in places, than others. I wish we could read something other than public domain versions, but this is what we have. So what is he saying here? Don't be disgusted if you are not the sage. If you look back on your day at the end of the day and you realize that you didn't act according to your principles all the time. But, he says, but rejoice if you can see that most of your actions were in line with your values. You won't succeed in every occasion, but have a look at the whole. Overall, how did you do today? Acknowledge, I failed here or there. But then go back to philosophy, he says. Come back to the embrace of philosophy. Not like a chastised schoolchild returning to the schoolmaster who's going to whap you with a ruler, but as someone returns to medicine, a treatment, a healing source. Come back to philosophy as a way to recover. Acknowledge your failure, recover, not with guilt, but like taking a medicine, a prescription, to make yourself better. And remind yourself that
to obey reason is sort of the point. This is how we live up to our human nature, by using reason. This is what we are made for, according to the Stoics. This is our gift that sets us apart from practically every other organism that we know of, our refinement of the use of reason. And we should apply it so well, so thoroughly, make it a habit that reason is our default, that it takes precedence over the pursuit of pleasure that often misleads us with sweetness, with softness, with whatever it may be that we are attracted to. But what is better than pleasure? Think of your deathbed. Will you say, boy, I wish I would have slept with a few more people, or I wish I would have eaten another piece of pie? Or are you more likely to say, I wish I would have been a better human, a more helpful human, that I had taken myself a little less seriously in terms of beating myself up when I failed, but I would have been free to have been myself, that I would have let things go and lived more simply, that I would have done well for others? Which one of those two are more likely? Kind of like asking yourself, will I wish I had gone to work a little more, or will I wish that I had gone for another walk out in the woods, or spent time with my family? The faculty of reason, according to the Stoics, is given to us by the universe as part of the spark of Zeus, the spark of the all-knowing, the all-knowledge, the oversoul, whatever you want to call it. And some of you may practice that philosophy. Of course, many others see intelligence as an emergent property, but still it's a gift. It's something that we could easily be deprived of. We could yet be deprived of it if fortune has an accident in store for us or something. So we should make the use of this gift every day that we can. And we need to remember, once again, that failure is going to happen, and that when we fail, we should not beat ourselves up unless we did it intentionally. But, if we aren't trying, then we might need to be stricter with ourselves. But if we're trying and we fail, we lose sight of our goal for a few minutes and we take a shortcut, and we realize at the end of the day that we failed. Don't beat ourselves up. Return to philosophy. Think about how we might do better next time. Work on it, journal about it, stew on it, meditate on it. Pick yourselves up and do it again. And that is how, my friends, that is how we seize the day. Carpe diem.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team. Earn rewards by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com. And as Steve always says, carpe diem.